welcome to this edition of Buncombe Life. We're out here at a beautiful location on the river. It's gorgeous. Behind the offices of GDS. And who are they? That's the residential hauler for Buncombe County Unincorporated, am I right, John O'Neill?
Yes, ma'am, you sure are.
And John O'Neill is the general manager for GDS, and he has been gracious enough to allow us to come out here, beautiful location, and talk to you about a new, well, first we're going to talk about lots of different things, but the main reason that got us thinking to come out here and talk to him is there's a new law that's going to start October 1st. And a lot of you may know about it. I hadn't heard of it till just recently, but it's going to ban #1 plastics from the landfill. That means no more in the landfill. That will have a big impact on us. What we're going to learn shortly is it won't have that big of an impact on you, but we'll get to that in just a few minutes.
Okay.
Thank you for talking to us.
Absolutely, I appreciate you coming out this morning.
We're going to kill some myths. When we started saying we were going to come out here and talk to you about recycling, about garbage pickup, some of my neighbors, some of my folks in the office said, I said, do you recycle? And they said, nah, we don't recycle. I said, why? Well, you know, they throw it all in the same place. Those garbage trucks come by and those guys just pick up my blue bags and my regular recycling and it goes all in the same spot. It all goes to the landfill. That's not true.
No, it's not. Since about 2004, we've been taking all our recycled material to curbside management. We've been trying to, over the last probably about 2.5 years, run some pilot programs across the county, running a separate truck for recycling.
So a completely separate
absolutely
truck.
It's not in all the county, but you know, a majority of the county we are trying to do that right now. It's piloting here and there, but we do have separate trucks out there that are picking up nothing but recycling, and they take that material to curbside management to be processed for us.
Okay. Now, how do those trucks know what's recycling and what's garbage?
The recycling is in blue bags. The blue bags can be purchased at the Ingalls or the Walmart, a couple other places in town, but it's clearly identified either by the blue bags, or sometimes if people run out of blue bags, they put it in a clear bag. As long as it's real easy for us to see that say, hey, yes, this is recycled material, we can pick it up separately.
So in some parts of the county, there's actually a separate truck that picks up the blue bags. But what
correct.
about the sections where it's not a separate truck, it goes into the same truck? I think that's where people are thinking it's all going into the garbage.
Sure. Sometimes what we have to do just depends on the routes and where it's at. We actually will put the blue bags in the front portion of the truck. We got a little section in the front there. We keep the blue bags separated, and then what will happen is the recycling truck will actually drive by to the big truck and offload those blue bags into the recycling truck, and then you'll haul it to curbside management for us.
So the truck they actually see, in this case, would be going to the landfill, but you've put the recycling in a separate. That's
correct. We'll offload that, and on occasion, you know, we've got some groups, some property owners. They'll let us drop the blue bags on their properties, and then later on that afternoon, the recycle truck will come by and pick up the blue bags from the property and haul those off to curbside as well.
Well, that makes sense. Okay. Well, now what is the difference in, and a lot of people think you guys are the same thing, what's the difference in GDS and Kirby?
Curbside management just does recycling.
Okay.
GDS, you know, we do commercial trash, we do industrial, and we also do residential, but we do garbage as well. So we haul a lot of stuff to the landfill.
Right.
But we also haul stuff to curbside. Curbside processes the recycled materials for us.
Okay. So you just pick it up, and then they process it, and from there it goes off to be turned into something else.
Correct. It goes off to the markets from curbside.
So y'all just really carry it.
That's
just
correct.
Pick it up and get it there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So a lot of the questions that people had is, can they put plastic and glass and paper into the same blue bag?
Absolutely. One of the system, when they first, I guess, developed the system, they were trying to make it as easy as possible on everybody. So what they did is the system they came up with is put everything in the blue bag, just dump it all in there together, and then the processor will worry about taking care of the separation and the processing of the material.
And they do ask you to take the lids off.
Yes.
And to wash the stuff out.
It doesn't have to be washed out. It makes it a lot easier, and it makes the commodity a little more valuable if it is washed out, and we would prefer it to be washed out, but it's not a necessity.
So if that's keeping somebody from recycling, don't worry about it.
Correct.
Get it in that blue bag.
Please do.
And get it out.
Absolutely.
Because it frees up space in the landfill.
Yes.
And you guys are wanting to pick more of this stuff up, right?
Correct. You know, it's cheaper to recycle in Buncombe County than it is to put it in the landfill. You know, it saves landfill space, and it also, you know, it also decreases our costs as well.
Right. Well, that's interesting. Never thought about that.
Yes.
But there's a reason you pick up that recycling.
Absolutely.
Okay. Another question that they had was, can they put out as many blue bags or does it have to be just so many a week?
It's unlimited blue bags. We'll take as many blue bags as you can want to put out there for us.
Okay, so if you only had like 2 cans of garbage but 50 blue bags, that would be all right?
Absolutely. You know, we like to limit the amount of garbage, but unlimited amount of recyclables.
Right. Okay, so when the October 1st law comes and there's no more number 1 plastics going into the landfill, that's the law, you guys are ready for it.
Absolutely. You know, we take them all right now, and there should be absolutely no change to our system. So we'll just continue picking up the blue bags as we do now. Hopefully, there'll be a lot more out there.
Yeah, so that's right. So what you need to know is find out what number 1 is and get that out. But just while you're doing it, get all your recyclables out of that garbage and put them out separately.
Absolutely. If you're doing number 1s, might as well do number 2 through 7 as well. Might as well go ahead and get it all while you're there.
That's exactly right. Well, now tell me, is there anything that our citizens need to know about their garbage service? Because you, like you said, you pick up all the residential garbage in the county outside the incorporated areas. What is there any hints you could give them that would help your guys when they come by to get the garbage?
A couple things that would really help us out is number 1, especially with the blue bags, don't put the blue bags in the can with the trash. Sometimes our garbage guys go by there and they'll pick up 2 bags of trash out of the trash can. There's a blue bag down at the bottom. If we're running a separate recycling route, my recycle guy's not going to stop by and look in that can for that blue bag. So it would be very helpful to put the blue bag outside. Second, just make sure you have your trash out by 7 o'clock in the morning, because we do start the routes right at 7 o'clock. Pretty prompt on that. Some of our guys like to get out there and get it done. So please make sure you have it out. You don't necessarily have to have it out the night before, because we know the bears like to get in the trash and the animals, but please do have it out by 7 a.m. so make it a little bit easier on us.
Well, now, I don't know if people do this or not. Do people put their blue bags in a separate can?
Very rarely.
They just leave the blue bags out by themselves?
Most of the time we'll just see it set on the curb next to the trash can.
Okay. What about if they miss you? I know sometimes we get calls, well, the garbage service missed us. What should they do?
Yeah, I do apologize if we do have a miss. It does happen on occasion, but if you do have a miss, please feel free to call our customer service department, and usually within 24 hours we can have someone out there to get it taken care of for you.
So that's just some happens sometimes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What I have also heard people say this, that like you said, sometimes the animals do get into it. If your guys pull up and animals have been in it, what do they do?
We try to clean it up the best we can, but if it's spread over a large area, it's difficult for us to slow down the routes to get picked up.
They get what they can?
Yes.
And the folks need to watch for that?
Yes.
Okay.
And if it's a constant problem, let us know. We've dealt with animal control at times. We found that there were dogs getting in trash. We've contacted animal control, and they work the property owners trying to make sure that it's not a dog issue.
Yeah, that's
and if it's a raccoon or something like that, then if they need to trap the animal, move to a different location, I think they've worked on that as well.
Yeah, that's a great hint. Thank you, John.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you've learned more about recycling, and I hope you'll start recycling. Stay tuned for more.
Hey, Dad. Mom. Grandpa. I know bird flu is quite rare in humans, but could that change if the virus changes? Do the experts expect bird flu to have global ramifications? Should we be taking precautionary measures in case bird flu becomes a pandemic?
Need some answers? Visit pandemicflu.gov or call 1-800-CDC-INFO today. A message from HHS.
Hope you enjoyed that segment out by the river. We've come over the hill here to Kirby, and I'm here with
Barry Lawson from Curbside.
Curbside Management, right? Okay. We have found a treasure trove here. This is amazing. One of the main questions we had back when we were talking to John a few minutes ago is what happens. All he told us was they pick up your blue bags if you recycle out in the county, and they bring them here. And this is an amazing place, Barry. Gosh, to see the amount of stuff that does not go in the landfill because you guys recycle it. Now tell me, you take everything from GDS in the blue bags.
That is correct.
And bring to you. You also do some more recycling. You take stuff from not just people who have GDS, but where else do you pick up?
We pick up in Woodfin, Weaverville, Fletcher, Hendersonville, the city of Asheville. And then we also receive material here from basically 5 counties. We receive material from Yancey, Madison, Transylvania, and then also Henderson and Buncombe County.
Okay. Walk us through, let's say that GDS drops off those blue bags full of and I'm holding, this is what we told you about the #1 plastic that will not be allowed in the landfill after October 1. This should be in your recycles. Bags full of these, bags full of all the different plastics, y'all don't care as long as it's in a blue bag and it's recyclable. Those come here. And then what happens to them once they come in your door here?
We basically sort those into the different types of plastics. We have the plastic bottles, we also have the milk jugs. We need to separate those into the plastics that meet the specifications for our end users. And then we bale those up into big cubes and stick those on a trailer and ship those off to their end destination.
Yeah.
And that might be down to Coca-Cola in Spartanburg, where they make those back into bottles, or it could be to Mohawk Carpet, and they turn around and make these back into plastic bottle or back into carpet.
This makes carpet?
That is made back into carpet.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
So, you know, and they also use those to make clothing and a variety of other products. So.
Now, does this fleece, is that one of the things that some of the plastics?
That is.
So you guys bail it all up and ship it all out. Now, one thing I noticed when we're looking here, we're in a viewing station here at Kirby, and we look over, there's a lot of paper down there, not just plastics.
That is correct.
A lot of paper. So y'all take the paper products too. Cardboard, I saw some cardboard.
Right.
Yeah.
Plenty of cardboard, paper, your junk mail, magazines, newspapers.
Oh, another use for that. That's good.
Old telephone books. So all of those products we can recycle here
And
at our
those
facility.
get baled up, like you said, and that goes off to be recycled into something else.
And made back into paper. Some of it gets used for erosion control, for our highways, for hydroseed, made back into insulation, a variety of products that the paper gets used in.
Wow, and it keeps it out of the landfill, which prolongs the life of our county landfill, so we don't have to site another one of those.
That's correct.
That's wonderful. Now up here in the viewing station, I could stand here all day and watch this. This is amazing amounts of stuff in here. I mean, mountains of trash. But I've noticed around the edges here, it looks like you have kids come in here and you educate. Is that true?
We do. We have classes that come to visit, to learn about recycling, also to see where their material goes once they put them in their bins or in their blue bags, and want to know more about recycling and where that goes.
So that encourages people to do it, which y'all are not at maximum capacity here. You can take more recycling.
That is correct.
So you want the people to recycle.
Yes.
Right? Okay. You did tell me that you're in a expansion phase, really. You're getting ready to do something down on the floor to make your operation more efficient?
We have, and we've already completed phase 1, which we moved some of our equipment and freed up space, added some new conveyors and a little faster baler to meet the growing needs of the recycling. But then we're also adding in some equipment, some conveyors, and some automated pieces that will allow us to sort more efficiently and improve the quality that we send to our end users.
Cool, that's wonderful. So you would like for us to take the lids off, to wash them out and take the labels off, but you'll take them any way you can get them.
Yep.
Right.
The main thing is just to take the lid off, throw that away, and then we can pretty much take them from there. Cool. And if they have the labels on, that's okay. And we'd be glad to take them, and they get ground up and washed and reused. Yeah. So.
And anything that's plastic, y'all take it.
As long as it's a plastic bottle or a jug.
Okay.
And so at this point we are not taking all plastics. It's plastic bottles and jugs. So, you know, some of the pieces that we are not recycling at this point are like your strawberry containers, the clamshell containers.
A butter bin, maybe?
Butter, right.
Okay.
So some of those yogurt cups are some of the examples of products that we currently do not accept.
Okay. If they get here by accident, that's what gets sorted
That
out.
is correct.
You see these guys on the line, they're sorting that stuff
Yes.
out. Okay, that is great. Now, do y'all pick up, there's some recycling centers around the county that are not picked up by GDS, it's not even municipal, they're separate. Like if you don't have garbage pickup at all, you can take your recyclables to, I think Westgate is one. I think there's several others. Is that, this comes here too?
Most of those do come here. There are, I think, 5 drop-off centers in the county, and I think 4 of the 5 do come to our facility here.
Excellent. Well, it is amazing. If people want to come here and see, can they? They want to
sure
bring a
can.
group, a scout group?
Yeah, please just let us know in advance,
Okay.
and we'd be glad to have someone here to talk to you and let you know about our
How it works.
yes.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And where the product ends up going, and we especially would love to have you come when we finish our next phase. I'm sure that'll be much more interesting.
We'll come back.
with the new equipment and being able to see things moving at a little faster pace.
Great. Well, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. And on behalf of Buncombe County, let me encourage you, learn, recycle, come out here and see. It will inspire you to get this stuff out of the garbage, free up that space in the landfill, but let it turn into something usable again. That's just amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for staying tuned. I get to go out on the road and it's so exciting, and every time, every show when we're out in Buncombe County, I always say this is the most beautiful place. We were on top of the courthouse and I said it, we were in Sandy Mush and I said it, you're not gonna believe where we are today, and I'm gonna say it again. This is gorgeous. I'm standing on a mountain, no lie, a mountain of trash at the Buncombe County landfill. It is beautiful out here, and what an organized operation. I'm here with Jerry Mears, who's the Buncombe County Solid Waste Manager. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And he's in charge of lots of stuff, like the landfill and recycling and white goods, and we're going to go over tons of stuff today. But this landfill is a state-of-the-art operation, not just for North Carolina, but for the United States. It's amazing what they do out here, and you're going to see some footage that is incredible. But I just want to start with the basics, because I know that I take my garbage and I put it in a bag and I set it down at the end of my road and a big truck comes and picks it up, and that's the last I think of it. But that's not the last of it.
No.
What y'all are doing with it is amazing. And this particular landfill, now we've had 2 in Buncombe County fairly recently. In 1997, I think this version.
It was a Subtitle D landfill that opened in.
This opened then. And you've had how many cells that you've opened and built up like this one?
We're on cell number 6 right now. We have 5 cells that are completed and finished at this time.
Okay, and you're on cell number 6.
That's correct.
Okay, when I say cell number 6, that means garbage trucks come in with their garbage, they pull around through this very pretty facility to cell number 6. Tell me a little bit about, cell means a giant hole, right? How big is the giant hole?
Cell number 6 is 23 acres. We just completed it about a year and a half ago.
Opening it up.
Opening the cell up and placing waste in it. We finished the cells 1 through 5. So the trucks come in, they pull into the area, back up to a certain area. We try to keep the pickups and the smaller vehicles separated from the larger vehicles so they can dump and not run into each other.
Yeah, so they pull around to the cell number 6 and they dump their garbage out. And y'all have prepared it so pretty, nice and neat. And then after they've dumped their garbage all day long, what happens to it?
Well, as they dump, we have compactors and that push and spread the waste to try to push it and spread the waste so that they can compact it. About 5 passes as a compaction with
Squashing
the machines
it,
that we
yeah.
had, yes.
Yeah.
And we have some of the heaviest machines that are on the market, 110,000 pounds, to push and compact the waste.
Okay, so then they compact it down, and then do they cover it before they leave?
Yeah, we cover it in the afternoon. We have to cover it with 6 inches of soil due to the state regulations to cover the waste.
That's incredible. Now, I know that right now you're covering with soil, and we're going to come back next month or maybe the month after that, and we want you to stay tuned because you're going to try something different.
Yeah, we've got an application in with the state to do some alternative daily covers. One is a posi shell material, which is a concrete powder mixture with the polymers that we would spray on the waste with a hydroseeding machine, and this would be approved by the state to use. They're using it in other parts of the state, but we use this to cover the waste in the afternoons and keep all the vectors and everything out.
Yeah, so when that happens, we're going to come back and show you that, because I'm sure that's going to be amazing how you do that too. But you were telling me a little earlier, this 23-acre hole, it's a state-of-the-art process that you go through to prepare the hole for the garbage.
That's correct.
Tell me a little bit about how it's very expensive what goes into that, but it's state required to do it that way. But tell me what you have to do to make it ready.
Well, we grade, everything is graded on a slope so that all the water that percolates through the waste once the cell is filled will drain to a low point where we have a sump pump which pumps the liquids back out into our leachate lagoon. There's a liner underneath all the cell area. It's all welded together. It's a HDPE 60 mil high-density polyethylene plastic material. It's all welded together. And this creek keeps any of the water from getting into the groundwater, and so we don't want to harm
protects the groundwater.
That's correct.
Okay. And so then you put that down, and then you said you'd put clay material?
We put a clay material down first, and then put a liner down. Then we come back, put 2 more feet of clay, and put our primary liner, which is the same material. And on top of that, we put a cushion fabric, which is about a 1/2 inch thick blanket material. And this helps protect the liner. And then on top of that, we put 2 foot of stone, which is our drainage media, so that the water, when it does rain, or the water that gets caught in the containers when the truck's hauled in, will percolate down through the waste and go to our low point, which is where our sump riser is.
Right.
And then it's pumped to the lagoon, and then processed, part of the bioreactor project, where we're pumping the liquids back into the landfill.
And we're going to talk about that bioreactor project in just a few minutes, so stay tuned for that. But that bioreactor project is happening on what we're standing on right now.
That's correct.
You expect this big finished mountain of garbage to sink.
We hope for it to settle and gain more airspace, possibly for Buncombe County, and then it could possibly end up being mined in the future to go back and reclaim the areas and possibly be a perpetual landfill where we could, reuse this site and never have to site another landfill in Buncombe County.
That's the goal.
That's right.
Never to have to site another landfill.
We don't want to go through that process.
No, we do not.
No.
So you've prepared this big cell number 6, big hole, and you've got all this ready. All that goes on, the clay and the liners and the rock, and then the garbage begins to be put on there.
That's right.
Okay. And so every night, every morning, okay, you covered the garbage that comes in during the day with the dirt. In the morning, when the garbage starts coming in again, do you just put the garbage back on top of the dirt?
Well, no, what we try to do is scrape the dirt that we've used the night before back off and reuse that also, which that helps save on soil in the landfill. The less soil you put in the landfill, the better off you are. The most valuable asset of this landfill is our airspace, so that gives us more room to put more waste. So the less material we put in there that we have to, better off we are.
And I saw a sign coming in, please recycle.
That's correct. We really encourage everyone to recycle.
We also saw coming in what you call a white goods facility. Now, white goods mean nothing to me, but what I saw out there was refrigerators and washing machines, and that's a white good.
That's what the state and the counties consider white good material, or refrigerators, appliances that you purchase at your local hardware store. And when you purchase those, you do pay a disposal fee, which we get part of that revenue back to help us operate our program. And then in turn, we do sell the material to a recycler, which is here in our county, and then they come and pick the material up, and then it's recycled. So we're keeping that material out of the waste stream also. It's also illegal to bury an appliance in any landfill in North Carolina.
Oh, well, that's good to know. So if I've got an old refrigerator, I don't have to put it out on my front porch. I can get it to the landfill.
And we do accept those free of charge. Any metal product is free of charge at the landfill. Bicycles, lawnmowers, any kind of metal that you can bring to the landfill, we do accept it free of charge.
Yeah, and I know we're going to talk about hazardous waste things that you don't want in there, but you also accept. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Okay.
Also, something coming in that we saw was this big, giant thing of mulch. Tell me about that.
That's our yard waste facility. We're not allowed to bury brush in the landfill, grass clippings or leaves. So those are other items that, according to state regulations, cannot be buried in the landfill. So what we do with those is any cleaned, grindable material has to be unpainted or untreated. We dump at our grinder area, and that is at a cheaper rate also than what we charge for normal waste or C&D waste. And we grind that material up, make a mulch out of it. And at the present time, we're giving that mulch away to the residents of Buncombe County.
Oh, freebie. Did you hear that? If you need mulch, come out to the landfill.
Give us a call, just bring a tarp. We do require a tarp to cover the material with when you leave this, so you don't spill any on the road.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's a great thing. Also here, I want people at home to know, because I asked you this earlier to make sure, where does the garbage come from that we accept here in Buncombe County at our landfill?
The waste comes only from Buncombe County and the city of Asheville. We do not take any out-of-county waste. And
we take care of ourselves.
That's correct, yes.
That's great, because we don't want to site another landfill.
That's correct.
I do want the folks at home to have kind of an idea of what it costs to landfill. So can we talk just a little bit about cell number 6, the big 23-acre hole? Okay,
cell number 6 was 23 acres. It's the biggest cell we've ever built here in Buncombe County. It costs about $7.5 million to construct. And that's
wow.
From start to finish. The cost of the landfill is substantially off of tipping fees, and that is the fee that is paid by the folks that use the landfill, residents of Buncombe County and the collection. So there's no tax dollars used on this site. So we operate strictly off of a tipping fee.
Oh, no, that's important, because we were just talking about how expensive it is to operate a landfill, and that's why we don't want to have to go inside another one. But you just said there's no tax dollars.
There's no tax dollars used at the Buncombe County landfill. We operate on an enterprise fund, and that's our tipping fee that comes across our scales is the only revenue that is used on this site.
And when you say tipping fee, that means for the big garbage trucks that come and pick up my garbage at the end of my road.
That's correct.
They come out here and pull in, and they're weighed for tons.
We weigh them when they come in, we have their weight stored in a computer. They're charged according to what they have on the truck.
And then we at home can dump at the transfer station if we want.
That's correct.
Or we can come straight out here and we can put ours out. How are we charged?
The transfer station has a little bit higher fee for transportation to bring the waste to the landfill. They're at $40 a ton right now, $1 per bag or a $12 minimum.
Okay, so for the residents, it's per bag and with that minimum.
Yeah.
Okay, because we don't come in with our tons. Yeah. Okay.
The landfill, we charge $36 a ton here. We have a $10 minimum for less than 500 pounds or $1 a bag. There's no charge for any recycled material here. We don't charge for the blue bags or the metal, any of the metal that comes in, the mulch. We do charge for yard waste. It's $20 per ton. It's a little cheaper than
That's amazing that this facility is run on tipping fees alone. And I think for this, it's quite a deal.
It is.
Okay.
We're one of the cheaper counties in the state.
And amazing what you do with it. Now, how big is the whole landfill?
The whole entire site, we have a little over 600 acres on the entire site here.
And your goal is never to have to buy any more.
That's correct.
Keep this one going.
Yes.
So we want people to recycle.
We want to support the people of Buncombe County, want them to recycle, and want them to have a place to dump their waste in the future, because the cost of waste is getting higher every day. A lot of the counties do not have a large enough population to support landfills, so they're having to pay a higher cost to transport their waste to other states.
And we don't have to do that.
No.
And we don't ever want to have to do that.
We sure don't.
Oh, this is a beautiful spot. And Jerry, you do a great job.
Thank you. We try.
Thank you.
We try to make it be a good neighbor in the community, and try to make it look good and have a good place for the folks of Buncombe County to come visit.
Yeah, so all this you've heard, come out to the landfill and visit it. Now, I will say, it's quite a ride. It's out of Panther Branch Road is the road that you're on, and you just follow the river until you think you've gone too far, and you'll be out here at the beautiful Buncombe County landfill.